Watagwan. For those who don't speak Jamaican patois, that's hey, what's up? So today I'm here with a lady who is well on her way back to her old fit and fabulous self.
Yes.
So tell me, you're 5'1", right?
5'1", yes.
Earlier this year, specifically back in January, you weighed 224 pounds.
Correct.
Now you weigh 178. So
Yes.
that's almost 50 pounds. That's great.
Yes. Feeling great, yes.
Yes, specifically it's 46 pounds, so
Yes.
but still great either way. So you're losing an average of 1.25 pounds of fat per week, which is
Right.
again is great. So you're heading back down to your old self of 125 pounds.
Yes, I am.
What changed for you in January that made you want to lose?
Well, it started with some irregularities in my cycle,
Okay.
which caused me to go to the doctor.
Okay,
And once I got on the scale and I actually saw my weight, I was like, okay, something needs to change. Definitely needs to change. And so that's what prompted it.
gotcha. How surprised were you by what the scale said?
I was very surprised because in my eyes, I didn't think that I was actually that weight.
Okay.
So it was definitely an eye opener for me. I've never been that weight before.
Okay.
So actually seeing that was definitely put some fuel under the fire, so to say,
Okay. Gotcha.
to lose weight.
Okay. So were you scared or frustrated or?
I was very frustrated with myself, upset with myself that I allowed myself to get to that weight.
Okay, gotcha. What do you think is the root cause of that? Hindsight.
In hindsight, there are a lot of factors, but one of them is not making my health a priority.
Okay.
Naturally, I am a nurturer,
Okay.
and I put people before me.
Okay.
So what I was doing was putting others before me and
Okay.
not putting exercising and my health ahead of everything else.
Okay, gotcha. You're also a pretty busy person. You have a job. You're an entrepreneur as well. Did
Correct.
that factor into things?
That definitely factored into the weight loss as well as exercise regimen. Prior to pursuing my entrepreneurial journey, I worked in corporate America and I was working like 12, 13 hours a day.
Okay.
So by the time I was finished working,
Right.
I was exhausted.
Yeah.
And that contributed to the weight gain as well.
Okay.
And then pursuing my entrepreneurial journey, just the stress of figuring everything out,
Okay.
on my own.
Gotcha.
And that added to it.
Okay, so I started coaching you around when you weighed 210 pounds.
Correct.
So
Yes.
previous to that, you had lost weight on your own. It
Yes.
worked out to about 1.08. That's actually very specific pounds per week.
Right.
After working me, it went up to like 1.37 pounds.
Right.
Which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's actually a 26% increase.
Right.
Plus, you were not eating much food. You were essentially starving yourself before starting to work with me. So
Right.
perhaps some of the weight you lost was unfortunately muscle. Whereas
Right.
I'm pretty sure all the weight you lost with me was fat only.
Right.
So what were some of the surprises that came about working with me in terms of losing weight and changing?
There were a lot of surprises. The first being that I did not think lifting weights would cause such an increase in weight loss.
Okay.
That was one of the things that really surprised me. As I started to increase my weightlifting, the fat started to fall off more,
Okay.
and the scale began to go down a lot more as well.
Gotcha. What did you think would have happened if you lifted weights?
I thought that I would gain weight.
Yeah.
And that I wouldn't be skinny because
Right.
my goal was just to be skinny,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking that the muscle would give me definition.
Yeah.
It would actually give you a shape.
Yeah.
So that was it.
Yeah, a lot of ladies mistakenly think if they lift weights, they're going to get big and muscular like a guy. But as I've told many ladies before, think of all the guys in the gym trying to get big and muscular,
Right.
and they can't, they don't. I should say not that they can't, they don't. And they have way more testosterone than you ladies. So it's practically impossible for you to get big and muscular.
Right.
So another surprise probably was the food eating.
Correct. Definitely the food. Okay.
Yeah.
I started my weight loss journey in January. I started as a vegetarian.
Okay.
So I cut back on meat.
Yeah.
My breakfast would consist of just a shake. That's all I would drink.
Yeah.
And then I would eat a very small lunch and then dinner. And then that was it.
Okay.
So I really was not eating a lot of food.
Right. About 1,000 calories.
Yeah, it was about 1,000 calories. Like you pointed it out to me
Yeah.
once we started our coaching sessions, but definitely was like 1,000 calories.
Right.
Yes.
And then I gradually ramped up to about 60% more. Which,
Right. So we had our little baby steps,
yes.
you know, considering my resistance.
Yes.
So we started out about 1,300.
Something around that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now we're definitely up a lot more than 1,300.
Right.
Correct.
So
yes.
mentally, that seemed to have been a big thing for you. For most people, actually, is
Definitely.
to be told to eat more food where you've been trained since you've been this high to eat less because eating more got you fat, which is also accurate, ironically.
Right. And I would like to add eating more, but eating the proper food.
Right.
You know, before, because I was so busy, I was doing church and I was working in organizations.
Right.
When I was done, I would stop by a fast food restaurant and get food, you know, which is definitely unhealthy.
Right.
And that's where the weight comes on.
So what are some other things I would say that you didn't know coming in, or even worse, things you thought you knew that turned out to be inaccurate regarding weight loss?
Definitely the food consumption, the lifting weights, and those were the two main things for me. Also, it was in my own mind that cardio was the way to go.
Yes.
Cardio, hit. And I know when we started our coaching sessions, I told you I was doing HIIT. I was doing HIIT 5 days a week, 5 to 7 days a week.
Right, way too much.
Way too much HIIT. And so that was a misconception that I had going into the weight loss journey, as you had pointed out, that I was losing muscle mass.
So how difficult was it for you to track calories, and how important do you believe tracking food is?
At the onset of our training sessions, it was very difficult given the schedule, and it was not a habit. But as we've been going along this journey, I've realized that tracking calories is extremely important because it gives you an idea where you are throughout the day.
Right.
You know, so you'll know if you overeat. You'll know what you're consuming. It makes you aware of what you're consuming.
Right.
So it is an extremely important aspect of the weight loss journey to track the calories.
Yeah, and you're not a one-off, because there are multiple studies showing all over the world that people that track calories, not only do they lose the weight, they keep it up.
Right. That's another thing too. I've been able to continue to lose the weight, and even on days where, if I miss a week of the gym, I don't gain a pound.
That's a good point. Good point.
Yes.
Because you've taken like a week off and the scale didn't bounce back up.
Didn't bounce back up at all. So very important aspect.
Yes. Because a lot of people, when they're doing these fad diets or the gimmicky stuff, as soon as they stop whatever the it is, and eventually will stop, the scales head back up again.
Yes.
The same vicious cycle.
All over again. And then you have to start over again with the weight loss journey. Yes.
Right.
Really bad cycle.
So what about being stronger in the gym? We touched on the weights, but you leg press now like 270.
Yes.
Which is a good amount. And
surprisingly, right? I never thought that I could do that.
Yeah.
I leg pressed 345 plates on each side.
Right.
In my previous weight loss experience and lifting experience, I thought that doing that would make me very bulky in the leg area, but it actually helped boost my metabolism, helped me to burn calories more, and, you know, give me a little definition, you know.
I hear you. That's good. So what benefits have, aside from just of losing weight, whether it's physical benefits, I don't know, emotional, mental, what have you, what kind of benefits have you noticed?
Well, the very thing that caused or was the impetus of me starting the journey was regulating my cycle. Right. And so that has drastically changed. Okay. And I can be very candid about it because I think it will help a lot of women who may be struggling with that. I would typically have like an 8 to 14 days cycle. Okay. That's just the thing that, where you have it going. Yeah. And it got to a point prior to going to the doctor that it was almost 2 months. Okay. Going on and on and on. Right. And as as I began to lose body fat and began to lose weight, I'm now down to 5 days, which is
good.
Great. That was pre-weight gain, college, which is awesome.
Right.
Works out well for me. And so that was definitely one of the things that drastically changed for me. Another was my skin.
Okay.
I remember one of my clients, she came into my office and she said, "You look lighter." Okay. I was like, "Really?" She was like, "Yes, you look lighter." And after she said that, I believe it's someone else you were showing the result pictures to who pointed out that I look drastically lighter. And I do.
Okay.
I took a look at the pictures. I actually do look lighter. And also...
is it that your skin is less blemishes or what is...
Well, I never really had a problem with blemishes, but I glow a lot more. I'm already bubbly, you know. But I definitely glow a lot more. You can definitely see the results of my skincare regimen and also the change of the type of food that I eat. Your meal plans require organic foods.
Yes.
And so that the organic food totally makes a big deal with the skincare. And another thing was someone's like, "Oh my God, your hair looks so full, so different." And I was like, "Really?" Because I don't really notice, you know. I was like, "Wow, really? Oh, thank you."
And you can get thicker and more luscious hair with eating cleaner, let's say. That's a possibility.
Yes.
Because you can always look good and lose weight technically while not eating the greatest food. You play with your macros, but healthy and looking good is better than just looking good.
Right.
In my opinion.
Exactly.
So that's kind of your personal life. But in your professional life, has the weight change helped you at all? Anything else? Whether it's, I don't know, are you sharper mentally or do clients treat you differently? Or?
I will say, because I do still work full time, and I also do my aesthetics business as well. In both facets, I am received a lot more by people. And
I mean positively?
Positively.
Okay, gotcha.
In my professional life, I'm around a lot of community leaders.
Okay.
And so now there's more reception, there's more listening to what I have to say.
Okay.
And it definitely helps with progress and getting things done and being successful. As far as clients are concerned, they're just more receptive to what I have to say as far as their skincare regimen. When they walk in, it's more warm, and I try to make it warm anyway. But when they see, you know, they walk in and they see someone that looks in shape and they mirror what they want, they're more prone to listen to what you have to say.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, and I guess an analogy I could give for guys is the stereotypical if you have a firm handshake versus a weak handshake.
Right.
So much more like have that firm handshake if you are stronger.
Right.
And then there are many studies that show that's just perceived better by the opposite person shaking your hand.
Correct.
And then in your social life, what about attention from the guys? More attention, less attention, same attention?
Well, if I would pat myself on the back, I'm already cute.
Okay.
No, I remember I went to the store, I think it was last week, and I was just looking at something, and I turned around and I caught this guy looking at me. I was like, well, what is he looking at? Not even thinking, because I don't, and I was like, oh, because you're cute.
Okay.
You're right. No, but it definitely draws more attention.
Right.
But yeah, you're more attractive, so more people want you.
Right. I guess it's almost like back in college days or something. You go into the room, you just get a lot more attention.
Yes, because I was very cute and small.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, you're heading right back there. So there you go. You're only getting cuter. Right?
Well, thank you.
Yes. We talked lots of any downsides to this transformation? Any negatives?
None. I have nothing negative to say about transforming and the process to transforming. Okay. Well, it is a journey.
Right.
You know, it's not for the faint at heart. It's not quick results.
Right.
You know, so for people who are looking to lose in excess 20 pounds or more, their expectation should be that it's going to take time. Look, I started in January.
Right. That's true.
And it's September.
Yeah.
You know, that's 9 months.
Yeah. But you've lost 100 pounds.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, it
9
would,
more months.
right.
And there you are.
And exactly. And I'll be where I want to be.
Right.
So it will be unrealistic to tell someone to, oh, you're going to lose 50 pounds in 2 months. That's unrealistic. And if they
unhealthy as
and
well.
it's very unhealthy, and they're going to gain it right back.
Yes, exactly.
I have nothing but positive things to say about this journey and just looking and feeling my best.
Okay.
You know?
Right.
I love it.
Got you. But I mean, you're not starving, are you?
Listen,
Yeah.
I eat a lot. I told my friend that the other day. She was surprised too. I told her, I was like, yeah, I eat like 1,700 calories. I eat a lot more than I did when I first started. She was like, really? Like, yeah, I eat a lot. Yeah. And people at work are like, you're eating again? I'm like, yes, I'm eating again. Do you have a problem with it? You know? But yes, I do eat.
And then I'm just trying to think of any possible negatives, like the food you eat. Does it taste bad? I mean, what do you typically eat in a day now?
In a day, I would have my shake. I would have vegetables. I would have a starch. And then I would have protein.
Okay.
And that's pretty much consistent for all the meals. I might sneak in a snack here or there, okay? Wink. No, just kidding.
Right.
No, I really do sometimes. But
like, what exactly would you be eating? Because some people, or a lot of people think, to lose weight, you got to be like you're a prisoner, eating prison food or something.
No, it's not eating prison food, excuse me. So I would eat like raspberries and blueberries and bananas and oatmeal, white rice, quinoa, which you told me to back away from the quinoa. Yes. And then every now and then I have like a granola bar.
Right. What kind of protein do you eat?
I went back to chicken. Yeah. Before I was just eating
chicken is good.
Vegan protein and fish. But I stopped with the vegan protein because some of it's processed.
Right.
And being that on the organic journey, that's not very good either. But that's pretty much my diet.
Okay. Well, any last thoughts to say before we wrap up the interview? Any advice you'd give to any ladies or men out there who are watching this, that are struggling to lose weight?
My advice would be definitely connect with someone who will lead you in the right direction. And it may not be your family members or your friends. Right. When I started on my journey, I started alone, and I just kept pushing through it. And I realized it's something that you would say all the time. You would say that you're the sum of the 5 people who are closest to you.
Right.
And so as I assessed the 5 people who are closest to me, I still love y'all, okay? I realized that everyone around me was not on that journey. And so sometimes you have to go on that journey by yourself and put yourself in position to be around the people who are going where you're going.
Right.
And that's what is going to help you. You may have to do it alone, and that's okay, but put yourself around people who want that same thing, because it'll help. Yeah,
that's a great piece of advice. So I also was wrapping up. You brought in a good thing, because you have to create new habits.
Correct.
It's like brushing your teeth, right?
Right.
So what would some of the tips you'd get that got you into the habit of going to the gym, tracking food, eating better? Like, what you were to reverse engineer? What were some of the habits? I knew I gave you some tips, but I don't know.
So I know early on, and I told myself this as I was starting, I said, I have to work out in order for me to stay fit and not be as big as I was.
Right.
And so what I did in my head mentally was working out and eating healthy was the same as brushing my teeth.
Okay.
It's a necessity.
Right.
It's not an option.
Right.
And so the habits I had to form were meal prepping, ordering my food on Sundays, instead of waiting to figure out what I'm going to eat, throughout the week, planning my gym schedule, changing things around, making myself a priority.
Okay. Right.
So it started with my mental or my perspective on it. And then it evolved to forming those habits.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, great. That's a great way to end it. So thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It was definitely a pleasure.
Okay, awesome.
Great.
All right, me I galang now. For those who don't speak Jamaican patois, that's I'm leaving now.